we're back and we have arrived at episode 5 of Avatar, The Last Airbender, the live action series. And it doesn't get any better. And that's kind of a problem that this seems to have going. It's not making any kind of sense as it goes along, but let's get through it and I'll try to get you to understand what I'm talking about. So the episode starts off with with Aang, Katara, and Sokka running from some Fire Nation soldiers. Katara once again turns some water into ice and starts throwing ice discs. Very impressive that she learned to turn water into ice in an hour. That's really, really impressive. What ends up happening is that they go to this, they was flying overhead, they see that there's this forest burnt down, and they go there, they get to find out that the Fire Nation burnt it down because they wanted to cross somewhere, and that caused some problems with this forest spirit, and some people who they sent out never came back, and they ended up in the spirit realm. Now, one problem that this show seems to have constantly when it comes to Aang is that every episode he or somebody has to be reminded him that, you're the Avatar, you weren't there, this happened, this bad thing, I'm the Avatar, I need to fix this, I need to this, I need to that. You're a 10-year-old child. What the hell do people expect from you? Is to suddenly supposed to fix everything? The Fire Nation, they have been doing this for 100 years. If the Airbenders, Earth Kingdom, and Water Tribe got together and take them out, they could have done something. But, you've allowed the Fire Nation to do this, and you're expecting the Avatar, a 10-year-old child, to fix it. And then Aang constantly has that thing now. Every episode you see him kind of depressed. I'm the Avatar. I was supposed to be here. I was supposed to do this, but I wasn't. That's a problem. It's like every episode, you don't get any of the hope and the joy that Aang is supposed to bring. It's like every time he does something to make you kind of smile, 2 seconds later, it's back to the same down in the dumps thing. So Aang decides that, the people have been lost in the spirit realm, so he's going to have to go in there to get to them. So he goes to the center of the forest, where it has some kind of totem things built there for the different spirits of the forest, and he starts to meditate. And as he meditates, he ends up in the spirit realm, but he also brings Katara and Sokka in there with him, which to me is a really big red flag and very stupid, because Aang being the bridge between those two is how it is. He was able to get in and out and learn things. The fact that he pulled them in, and the explanation is that, because it was weakened, and because the Fire Nation burned down some stuff, the gateway was weakened and his power pulled them in. I find that to be kind of really stupid. So when they end up in the spirit realm now, they end up meeting the big owl thing that knows all stuff, and that I think is Wang Shitong, he who knows 10,000 things, but he doesn't call himself that. Here he just tells them that, he is the spirit of wisdom, which is really, really stupid. Getting rid of the whole library that he had and all sort of thing, that would have been interesting to see in live action, but no, now he's just some big owl, and Aang is the only one who could understand him. The rest of the other two are just hearing him making thing songs, whatever. So they end up in there, they get chased by some monster. They were told to stay on the path, but they end up going off there and end up in some fog that shows them different things. And then we get so when they end up in the fog now, Katara ends up going back to, the fog ends up showing up going back to when her mother was still alive and all this sort of stuff, and she's there. And again, I tell you, I find the acting just so cringe with this actress who plays Katara. At times when she's supposed to be really emotional and wanting to help Aang and things, she seems somewhat standoffish. And then when she's doing these things, it does kind of make sense. But then again, she does have one redeeming scene in this. When the Fire Nation does attack and, she's running there and mother puts her to hide and stuff, and then you get to see the Fire Nation soldier kill her mother, that was really kind of thing. And she played that emotional part really well, I'll give her that. And then all of a sudden he gets attacked by Ko, the face eater, right? Okay, you go to Sokka now. Once again, every man kind of behavior, and his thing now. He goes back to when he was doing some tests with his father and all of this stuff and thing, and you could tell what they're going to do. The typical, oh, daddy doesn't think I could do things, so cause Sokka overhears him saying that maybe he's just not cut out to lead people and that thing, and he's so depressed about it. It's the typical nonsense when it comes to these things. He also gets attacked by Ko. When Aang ends up going to this stone hut thing there, he meets Monk Gyatso, who apparently decided not to continue on the path to the next realm, but decided to stay there because he figured Aang would show up. How he knew that, I don't know, but whatever, he decided to stay there. And he says the one thing in this entire show that actually makes sense. When he tells Aang, there was nothing you could have done had you been at the air temple. You would have died along with us. And this is a 10-year-old child who could do some wind bend, who could do some airbender, but doesn't know how to use any of the other elements, doesn't know how to properly use them, to fight anything. What were you all thinking this child was going to do when the Fire Nation showed up? He would have been killed. Then they would have gone on to the Water Tribe to find when he's reborn there, and then kill that person. And then they would have gone on to the Earth Tribe, kill that avatar, and then the fire, and then just keep doing it until they just get sick and fed up or something. What were you all expecting this child to do? The same thing like what happened with Bumi in the last episode. All, you should have been here, you should have done this. What were you expecting this child to do? One other thing that really kind of pissed me off when it comes to this episode is Azula. As I said, Azula should have never been in this to begin with. She had no business being here, whatever. Azula is a season 2 villain. But they changed Azula in this once again because, they have to. Change Azula because they have to. Instead of Azula, now the thing that made Azula really such a well-done villain is that she was good at what she did. She was a cold, manipulative, conniving, evil witch, but she was powerful, and that was it. She had fully embraced everything that Ozai was, and she wanted to be. That was what made Azula so damn terrifying and such a good villain. But you're not getting that this time. This time around, she tries to whisper sweet nothings into her father's ear to try and make the thing is the major or something that Zuko is working with, try to get promoted up to the rank to disregard Zuko. But when he tells her that Zuko is the one who found the avatar, he's doing things, he isn't here trying to use manipulation, she gets all upset. And then next thing you know, she's out there fighting people and triumphing and all kind of nonsense about how, I need to be better, I need to be the best, I need to be this. I mean, like, you took everything that made Azula so cool and just reduced it to, I want to be daddy's number one little girl. Come on now. The whole thing about Azula, her entire personality, when that crumbled at the end and she had that breakdown, you were like, okay, this is interesting because you saw what she was. You saw the monster that she was, and then to see what that led to was okay. Now you just turned her into this annoying little, I don't want Zuko to be better than me. She always knew she was better than Zuko. That was what made her so terrifying. But now, screwed that up. So when Aang finds out that Cody the face stealer is the one who has who has his friends captive and he's going away to eat them, Monk Gyatso tells her that apparently Avatar Roku battled him before, so Aang needs to go to his temple to get some advice from him there. So he decides to leave, and the temple is in the Fire Nation. Why? I mean, I understand that they're not doing the whole thing with the with the comet anymore. But that was just so ridiculous because they all run to the two Roku's temple was pretty interesting and cool to see, and they had a reason for what they were doing. You could have found a different thing here, but this whole spirit world episode thing was just really badly done. It didn't make any sense. Pulling them into the spirit world was just stupid. You could have found a different way to do something. But once again, we did get to meet June in this, the bounty hunter with the share shoe. She showed up, which was actually kind of cool to see, that was fun. But other than that, it's just another cringe episode. I think from this time, I'm not going to do them 4 episodes at a time. I did the previous 4 before. This time, from this point on, I'm going to do 1 episode at a time review. I think that might give me a better chance to actually, list out how these things are actually running. So, yeah, and then at the end of the 8th one, I will give my full rating for it. So, that's it. This was episode 5, Spirited Away, and honestly, I just didn't really feel the spirit in it. Really and truly, I just didn't feel the spirit in it. Your thoughts on this in the comments. I have a different opinion. I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.